now. So let's just start with my boys. Let's just start where the sun shines the most.
After
Down
you.
in Philly. Not from Philly, but I feel like I want to move there one day. That's the goal. Also, Miami Heat, what are you doing? Get healthy. Stop with this breaking COVID protocols. We're losing a lot because nobody's playing. Bam's got to drop a career-high 40 points for us to still lose. I want W's. They're playing right now.
For you basketball fans, there's your basketball talk. Now on to football.
This is what happens when it's just when it's Al and Kyle, because Al just kicks Kyle out of the game plan, and he adjusts like Aaron Rodgers should have on that third down.
Wow, already, huh?
Should have ran her in. But all right, so let's talk Eagles hire a new coach. We decided something very important, Kyle. You know, the narrative for the last 2 months has been send Wentz to Philly or to Indianapolis. That means getting back Frank Reich, as the one announcer said in week 16. They're both deep Christians. They need to be together. That's how you do it. And Jeffrey Lurie said, no. We're going to bring Indy to Philly. And so we went and hired everybody. Went and hired them all. So Nick Sirianni, is that how you say it? Something like that? Do you know? You're the name guy in this trio.
I was going to let you handle that. This is your Eagles talk, buddy.
Something like that. He was the offensive coordinator for the Colts. He was the wide receiver and quarterbacks coach for a long time in San Diego. I really liked the hire. I was pushing for Deuce more than anybody else, but I have ended up really enjoying this hire. A couple of those mic'd ups that have dropped, I've really liked him. The way he just speaks and when he talks to players. He's a younger guy. He's like 39 compared to Dougie P, who we hired at like 48 or something. Younger guy. Bring over, and then he hires the Colts defensive backs coach, and they had a good defense this year, and they played pretty well on the back end. We need help there as the DC. I like that. He's younger too. He's like 37, 38 years old. Just hired a new QB coach today from the college ranks who helped Dak Prescott in college. Really liked him. I like these moves, and it's been bittersweet with Doug. Losing Deuce honestly hit me harder than anybody else because I've wanted him to get a real shot. I've never understood why we're doing running back coach, assistant head coach. He should have just become an offensive coordinator, got really involved in the play calling. I'm glad he's getting his opportunity with the Lions, but we really cleared house. And when Andy was fired, when we brought in Chip, we cleared most, but we didn't clear everything. We did the same with Doug. We kept some guys. This time we're really moving on. Everybody is gone, and I think it's good. I think it is a good, fresh change no matter who's at QB. I think starting young, and I don't think it's necessarily the narrative is they brought in everybody to fix Wentz. I think they brought in smart, offensive play people who understand the game, who can relate to players, who are strong people and can command a room, is what I've seen in my research, and that is what excites me, whether it's Wentz or Hurts, because at the end of the day, it's going to be who are they coaching as the starter, and if the narrative might be fix Wentz, if Wentz is the starter, that's what the narrative is going to be, is that they brought him in to fix Wentz. It made more sense money wise to move off of him, Doug, than Wentz. But I'm good either way. You know, I bittersweet if Wentz leaves or Hurts. I love them both. I'm just excited for this kind of new era. From the few things that have come out from the Colts wide receivers, I mean, they're talking, and some of the Chargers old wide receivers when he was their coach, they've talked about how Nick at the wide receiver position is just so elite. And then he's gotten the chance to even amp that up with the QBs and now and he was so involved in the game planning, even though he didn't call plays over in Indy, which people are just losing their minds over. Well, he didn't call plays in Indy. Frank Reich didn't call plays in Philly. Like what? Like not everybody's calling plays. Doug Peterson called some plays in Indianapolis, not really. Matt Nagy, as much as a friend of the show, Zach, likes to tell us how Andy said he was his play call, he didn't really do much of that. It was mostly Andy Reid. It's okay not to, I'm okay with you not being an experienced play caller, because a play caller is a guessing game. It's all right. We've ran these plays in practice. Is this going to work up against this matchup? Well, let's take our best shot and find out. So I'm not too worried about that. I like the hires. Could use a little more diversity there, Philly. Did that with the QB coach, but could use some more. We still got some hires to do, but still, at the end of the day, I think we ended up getting some good hires. I think it'll be really good for the team as a whole. We've got to move off of some of these older players, and we've got to get younger, and we got to get healthy. And that's the biggest thing. Is my only question mark with Nick is, how is he going to do practice? Is he going to do the Matt LaFleur thing and come in and say, look, you guys were just nothing but beat up with Mike. We can't have that. We've got to get healthy. And I really hope, and I'm assuming he wouldn't have won the job, because everybody was saying it was going to be Josh McDaniels, and then he comes out of left field.
Thank goodness it wasn't.
I want to remind people, this has been big. Jeffrey's always done the left field hire. Andy Reid was a QB coach who had never called plays. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid is going to his third Super Bowl, hopefully about to win it. I'm not too caught up on that stuff, but I like the hires. I hope the roster can get cut down. I'm excited for the draft. Having a top pick is going to be fun. Having an actual quarterback, whether it is Hurts or Wentz, but knowing you got a quarterback in place that you think is pretty good and you can go build around him, it makes me excited that maybe we can go get one of these top wide receivers that are stud muffins, or go get a top lineman to replace these old hurt guys, or to go after some defensive stud. A lot of people think we're leaning towards one of the best linebackers in the draft, whose name's escaping me, but
Micah Parsons
might be.
That might be him.
But our DB coach has also done such work, and our new linebackers, our new D-line and linebackers coach and everything have done such great work with linebackers, where it's get these guys a stud, and it's going to be insane. So maybe going and getting a linebacker I'd be okay with pretty much every position but QB, because it's all right, we already got two. We don't need to go. We don't need to go get Justin Fields. There's just no need. I mean, if he is the top dog, then we're going to mortgage the farm, or just trade everybody away, I guess. We're really starting fresh. But I like the way Philly is going. So that's my piece on the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I assume, Kyle, you have no comments.
Not really. I mean, I don't know anything about Nick Sirianni. I still don't know what his last name is. I don't know much about him outside of, the little descriptions about what his jobs were previously. But it doesn't bother me too much by the sounds of it that he's, never called plays before. I don't really believe that you necessarily have to be, one of these young, hip offensive guru type guys. I just think you need to be a guy who understands locker room culture and know how to, and understand football too, and just rebuild a locker room that I think kind of got dismantled and kind of got separated and broke apart by the sounds of things throughout the years for you guys. So I'm hoping
just at the last game of the year when he benched Hurts for Nate Sudfeld, and everybody just lost it. That's when it really hit.
I listen to you every week throughout the Eagles season, so it feels more than just the last game. But I get what you mean.
Locker room problems until the end. Locker room problems was never an issue under Dougie P. People love Dougie P in that locker room.
Well, I mean, regardless,
I guess there's the Wentz stuff, but.
Regardless, though, I think there are some things within there that could need fixing, and maybe he's the guy, maybe he's not, but it seems like, at least from a player standpoint, that they've heard good things about this guy, and he understands how to cooperate and be good to those players. So it could be a good situation. I mean, the Colts are also a really good franchise over there, and they seem to have some good coaches. So if they see that, then the Eagles probably made the good call in bringing that guy over as your head coach, and then bringing over their their defensive coordinator or their secondaries coach?
Their D-backs coach. Their secondaries coach is now our DC. And you know what they did in the offense over there? They ran the ball. Yeah. Even when the throw wasn't working, they shoved it down your throat with running back after running back. Miles Sanders ready to pop next year, baby. And I'm for it. You're going to do wonders. Miles Sanders is better than any of the running backs they got over there, and I love some of their running backs over there.
Jonathan Taylor looked good at the end of the year. That's for sure.
Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, when he doesn't tear his ACL, make my fantasy season sad.
Might be a free agent now, Marlon Mack, I believe.
Well, bring him on down to Philly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind a guy like that.
He might get a cheap deal.
So